Hi, my name is Tomer Nahomi from Xtremio. As you might be aware, Vsphere 6.5 just went GA yesterday, and today I'll be going to present you a demonstration of the cool storage features of Vsphere 6.5 on top of Xtremio's storage array. First is the automatic unmap of VMFS 6 data store. This feature requires ESXi 6.5, vCenter 6.5, VMFS6 data store, and an array that supports and maps SCSI commands. This feature can be seen on the Configuration tab on the data store object in the vCenter. In the vSphere web client, there is only an option to change these settings to either none or low, with none disabling unmap completely. However, using the ESXCLI command, ESXCLI storage VMFS reclaim config, you can change this setting to medium or high, which increases the frequency in which unmap commands are sent by twice or three times over the low setting. As you can see here, an automatic space reclamation process has been started in the background, but it is important to note that this unmap is an asynchronous unmap, meaning space is not reclaimed as soon as you kick off the delete blocks that have been freed. They will be reclaimed within 12 hours by the crawler by default, or 3 hours if you set the value to high. So if you want to run the reclamation immediately, just run the command ESXCLI storage VMFS unmap -l data store name with the reclaim unit equals to 20,000 flag, which is part of the Xtremio best practices. The next feature I want to show you is in-guest reclamation for Linux Guest OS SPC4 support. This enhancement increases the SCSI primary command specification in the Linux Guest vSCSI. In particular, this will enable in-guest dead space reclamation in Linux guests. Linux guests check the SCSI version before sending an admap command, and because Linux guest we're using older specification up to now, it did not send nmap commands. With SPC4 support introduced for Linux guest in vSphere 6.5, this should now also be able to issue nmap commands, meaning that dead or standard space can now be reclaimed in a Linux guest OS virtual machine. In order to get this feature working, we must follow these prerequisites. Enable block delete option at the ESXi level must be set to 1. The VM hardware compatibility must be at least 13, and the virtual disk must be thin provisioned. In addition, the guest must support Unmap as well as its file system. To verify from inside the guest, we can run the following command and check that Unmap command supported is set to 1. Next, we run the following command and check that the SCSI version is 6 and the SPC compliancy is 4. Please note that when you are mounting the disk, it's very important to add the "-O" discard flag in order to get this feature functioning. Now, I'll copy a vCenter installation over the network to my thin provision disks. As can be seen, the physical use space on the Xtremio storage array has increased in 3 gigs, as well as the thin provisioned virtual disk, which grew to 3 gigs after the file was placed. Now, I'll remove the file via rm command. As you can see, the space is automatically reclaimed on the Xtremio volume hosting the VMFS data store that contains the thin virtual disk, and the virtual disk has been reduced by 3 gigs. Thank you for your watching.